Hello, welcome back to Tale 3 Cabins. So this is my commuter vehicle now for about the next 7 to 10 days. I'm hoping it's going to be closer to 7. But I left our house in northern Ohio and we brought the RV down. Right now we're settled over here by my neighbors next door to the cabin in southern Ohio here. We started doing some work on it yesterday. My friend John came down. We were able to start working on the porch area. Started doing some simple stuff, just removing the screening around the porch, getting a little fire going so we could burn some of those materials. Oops.
There's no shrubbery to worry about. Watch out for the truck.
Things started moving along pretty quick and we decided we would try to get the porch roof down. We wanted to maybe keep those posts intact so we could use them in the future for some hunting blinds. Once we got everything all cleared off around the porch area, the screening.
So you stapled a bunch of this to hold it.
Yeah, so eventually something gets in there, eats it up, makes a nest out of it. We cut all this out and cut these things. This floor comes down. I think that's still going to stay and we can still walk on it. Now before we get too far, there's the antenna tower, and it's easier to get up on the roof when you go off of the porch roof. So we eliminated the porch roof. It would make it a little bit more difficult, so we thought we'd take the tower down first. That's what I wanted, to see if they could put it there without taking down this cabin. All set? I also picked up some of these demolition blades from Home Depot to see how well they'd work cutting through shingles. We kind of cleaned everything out around each post, and then the dilemma was the best way for the two of us to get this roof down. I decided that we would take a circular saw, and at the base of each post I cut about 80% into the post on the back side, and that way it still remains somewhat intact. I was worried about, if you try to use a chainsaw or try to cut completely through it with a sawzall, you'd probably pinch the blade and make it too unstable all at once. We kind of dissuaded away from that. We took a chain and wrapped it around, then we hooked it up to the UTV. We weren't sure if the Midsize 570 Polaris was going to have enough oomph to pull these posts out. But the first one was pretty much uneventful. That first post just came out with no fanfare or anything like that. And then the next one came out a little bit harder and you could see the roof started to sag. Started getting a little concerned that maybe, even though it was still attached up by the roof area, that when the roof does start coming down, that it might bind up somewhere and prevent the roof from fully coming down. And then we started with the corner. The corner post came out. So I was surprised that it came out that easy, to be honest with you, and it seemed safe. I don't want to say that this is the preferred method or we're an expert at this. This is kind of making this stuff up as we go along, trying to figure out what the tools we have and what the best method is to use those tools that we have on hand. And then we brought out the last post. Now initially I thought I bought one of these demolition blades from Home Depot, and I thought I would have to go up on the roof and just cut a kerf close to the house and just kind of free the shingles and the sheeting away from the house so that would fall off clean once the last post came out. But there was a seam between the two pieces of sheeting that went all the way down, and it was only about 6 inches away from the house. So I thought maybe that I didn't need to do that kerf, but when we did take the last post off, it seemed like it was a little bit hung up. I just don't know if it was just hung up because of the rafters were nailed so much into the house itself, or if it was because of the sheeting. So then we had a dilemma how we're going to get this thing down safely without anybody getting killed. We ended up taking another strap, wrapping it around the whole roof itself, and we just thought we could peel it back slowly by just pulling it with the UTV. Keep going, your car's okay? Seemed to work like a charm. Flipped it over, got it on its side. We were able to start cleaning up material. So I gotta say that I'm not sure what you think out there in YouTube world, but it seemed like it went pretty well for us. So John and I got up this morning, and a couple more friends, Nick and his son Nicholas, came out, and they're helping us out. So they got started right when they got here. A little bit of drizzle this morning, but that seems to have gone away. Temperatures are supposed to go up into the high 60s today, so that's kind of nice. It was a little chilly last night. The temps were down in probably the mid 20s. So a little chilly for the bunk ends on the RV, but not too bad. We had the furnace popping on, off and on a couple times during the night. So there's a little bit of demolition going on. We're working on getting rid of the water room area. So we got all the framing out of there, tore off the sheeting, tried to save some of the piping just in case I might need it in this new place. And I guess worst case scenario, we'll have to drill for a well, but the prices of well drilling right now are just pretty outrageous, and I know they're not going to come down, but I really hope we can find a spring. So I have my friend Don coming down, and he's bringing JD, and JD should show up later on this afternoon. I ended up moving the dumpster up a day. I was wondering if there's any chance maybe we can get delivered sometime tomorrow. Probably later in the day would be better, but whatever you guys can do is fine.
Okay, all right, and I have that on here for tomorrow then, after 12.
Okay, sounds good, thank you. Yeah, I was not supposed to get the dumpster delivered for another 2 days. Today's Monday, and it was going to show up on Wednesday. And now I asked them if they could deliver it tomorrow because things are moving a little bit quicker, and I have the bulk of the people here tomorrow. So I thought having a dumpster and we could maybe get a lot of progress done. Our goal now is to just start peeling sheeting off of the house and select areas. And once that sheeting is all off, and it's kind of tedious work, we're going to see how it comes off and if something's worth saving or not. But I think we can get all the sheeting off. The guys, some guys can still stay inside if they want to and they want to sleep in there. It should be still toasty warm. You just still have the insulation, and the interior walls are still intact. But we'll see how far we get. Why don't you come on over and let's go commute. It's time to go to work. Find where the mice are coming in?
Every nook and cranny that there is in the pocket. This isn't many.
Most of the sheeting is off, and time for a quick lunch break. All right, too bad this thing don't run on propane. It could have been another sleeping area up there.
There's the old porch.
Yeah.
picture window, right?
I'd like a bay window up there.
Bay
I
window?
think would be nice. Yeah, or garden window maybe. The sun kind of sets over there.
Good hunt out of this.
This is a new hunting blind.
Blind here, we cut 2x4s in half. But if we use those 2x6s and put them on the table,
Yeah.
just as good.
Yeah.
So it's studs.
The decision was made that no one's going to stay in the cabin tonight. 2 guys are going to sleep in a pickup truck using some of the old mattresses from the beds, and then 3 are going to stay in the RV. Cuddle up with some insulation if it gets cold.
Exactly. I was gonna put my initials on all my saws, but I didn't.
Unlimited cotton candy.
Mine's the newer one.
One, two, three, coming out.
If you haven't seen some of the earlier videos about taking down this cabin, we're trying to save as much of the good scrap wood that we can, and hopefully in the future we can make some hunting blinds out of it.
Oh, geez, now we gotta carry it.
Oh no. Your money.
I know. Gotta find a place to put that. Throw it in my truck. Or that'll be my dude. Tom's Cabin Fun. Just like this old house.
Yeah.
What are we working on here today, Nick?
Oh, just taking out a couple of windows.
There's the local garbage picker down there. So right now the plan is to pull the house directly towards you as you're watching the screen. We're going to tie a strap around the second floor, and once all the sheeting and interior walls are gutted, we think it should just come down like a house of cards, leaving the roof system intact for us to pick away on the ground level. But clearing this area out is pretty integral because the cabin is going to fall down in that general direction. The dumpster will be arriving tomorrow, but we don't want to handle things twice. Sure you don't want to sleep in here tonight?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Hear them owls? So we find any mouse nest? Anybody notice one?
I didn't. I seen some roach type bugs and
Yeah. Prolonged filling up the tanks on the RV, we left the bathroom intact so we can still use the shower and the toilet in there. Yeah, can't even make out that they're pants. There's a man in there.
I had a pair of hunting pants, camo. Must have lasted me 25, 30 years.
Oh yeah.
But then there's nothing I could do. They had to go.
There's certain things that I like that I've had for like 20 years that
Isn't that weird?
I just freaking, like I told Robbie the other day, I go, I'm still wearing a couple of shirts that I probably had 20 years ago. 'Cause-
Did she say, yeah, I know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have to tell Maureen. She knows exactly which one. You really should throw that out.
I used to wear this.
Okay, we're going to pick up where we left off next week. I appreciate everybody watching these videos, and subscribe. Hit that like button. Click on that little bell when you want to know when a new one is coming out, and keep an eye on us.
Again, no spare.
No place for a spare on a tractor.
got a problem.
This snapped off inside. Usually you don't need it.